on NewsVision. Major disruption for hundreds of thousands of Americans today as 3 major cell phone providers experience a massive cellular outage for several hours. Plus, one campus organization spreads love through music.
I really enjoyed it. I mean, I knew the event was going on. A lot of my friends were a part of it, so I was, really excited to it, definitely.
And later on, Florida is no stranger to invasive species, but one large lizard tops the list.
If a species is able to get somewhere of its own accord, then it is considered native.
These stories and a lot more on tonight's episode of NewsVision. It starts right now. Good evening and welcome to this week's edition of NewsVision. I'm Gracie Palmer.
And I'm Ben Freeman. Thank you for joining us. For about 10 hours today, hundreds of thousands of Americans could not use their cell phones as one of the main cellular providers, AT&T, experienced a nationwide outage. Users couldn't make calls, text, or access the internet, and many of them couldn't even dial 911. Some Verizon and T-Mobile customers also reported disruption when trying to connect to those on the AT&T network. AT&T has not yet disclosed the reason for the outage, but industry sources say there's no indication the outage was caused by a cyber attack or other malicious activity. As of now, most of the outage has been resolved.
University of Miami welcomed first responders yesterday at the Safety Fair that took place on campus at the UC Rock Plaza. Campus and City of Miami police and fire departments worked with student organizations to set up stations with different themes offering student safety tips. These organizations held demonstrations such as CPR to teach students what to do in the case of an emergency. One of the main focuses was to educate students about the dangers of impaired driving, which is a massive issue in Miami and college campuses around the country.
We kind of want to get rid of impaired driving as an issue altogether, whether it's alcohol or drug impaired driving. We have more resources now to get a ride home than we've ever had before.
Organizers hope students will take the things they learned and put them to good use.
Good news for student borrowers. President Joe Biden has canceled another $1.2 billion of student loan debt. The announcement will affect an estimated 153,000 borrowers. To qualify, borrowers must have made payments for at least 10 years and be enrolled in the Biden admin's SAVE plan.
When people in student debt relief, they buy homes, they start businesses, they contribute, they engage in the community in ways they weren't able to before. It actually grows the economy.
Since taking office, Biden has canceled nearly $138 billion of federal student loan debt for about 4 million borrowers.
President Biden is also considering a new executive action for the southern border. The policy would make it more difficult for migrants to seek asylum if they enter the U.S. illegally. It involves an authority known as 212F.
I would hope that President Biden will go forward with his executive order. And I would hope that the executive order will stay within the 4 corners of this agreement that was reached on the Senate side.
As of right now, the action is only under consideration and a final decision on it has not been made.
The School of Communication is continuing its mission to spread awareness about journalists around the world. On Monday, a panel with the organization Reporters Without Borders discussed the wrongful jailing of prominent Guatemalan reporter Jose Ruben Zamora. Zamora is a well-known journalist whose work had criticized the government in Guatemala. He was sentenced to 6 years in prison in a case that rights groups say is an attack on free speech. The speakers at the event included U.S. Representative Norma Torres, Zamora's son, Professor Sally Hughes, and the executive director of Reporters Without Borders, who stressed the importance of education.
The more you tune in, the more you listen, the more you read, the more you share, the more you amplify, the more difficult it becomes for dictators, wherever they are in the world, to hide things from you.
Our son expressed his gratitude to the School of Communication for spreading awareness about his father. To learn more about journalistic freedom, go to rsf.org.
A black student in Texas is being legally punished for his hairstyle. Daryl George's Texas school district has not allowed him to attend class since August 2023. The Houston High School argued George is violating the district's policy limiting the length of hair. The district says George's long hair, which he wears tied up in locks, when let down will violate its school policy of no hair falling below the shirt collar, eyes, or earlobes.
Throughout all these years, throughout all the fighting for the black history that we've already done, we still have to do this again and again and again is ridiculous.
During the trial, the court ruled in favor of the school district, saying the district is allowed to penalize George under the Crown Act.
The Alabama Supreme Court has declared embryos are children and entitled to all legal protections, just as a fetus in the womb. The ruling comes after a lawsuit was filed by 3 couples who claim a patient at one Alabama infirmary destroyed their embryos. As a result, some hospitals have stopped in vitro fertilization treatment, as administrators are worried patients and doctors could be criminally prosecuted or face punitive damages based on the decision, which was released Friday. The ruling doesn't prohibit IVF, but it opens up medical providers to wrongful death claims related to the embryos involved. Critics say the ruling could also make fertility treatment unaffordable for many families and force parents to pay for lifelong storage fees for embryos they cannot legally discard.
The CDC says more than 111,000 people in the U.S. died from a drug overdose in the 12-month period that ended in September. Many of those deaths were caused by synthetic opioids. But as Harvey Duplock reports, there is a drug on the market that can help prevent many of these deaths.
People that use drugs, guess what? That's mothers and fathers and brothers and sisters.
Tommy Guerra is a recovering addict and the founder and CEO of F-Fentanyl, a non-profit harm reduction organization.
I have a number of people that have passed away in my life and from overdose. I found purpose in doing this work, in helping other people and educating, and just hoping that we can save some lives.
On Valentine's Day, he teamed up with the University of Miami Sandler Center and U Recovery Club to host a Narcan training event in the Shalala Center.
So we host events like Narcan trainings, really just to ensure that students have the tools and information that they need to make safer choices.
Narcan is a medication that can reverse the effects of a drug overdose if used fast enough. And according to the CDC, in 2023, some 112,000 Americans died from drug overdoses, making events like these a necessity.
There's still a huge stigma when it comes to, Narcan and substances and just being safe.
Nearly 40 students attended the 1-hour training where they learned about drug safety and prevention, as well as how and when to use Narcan.
This is what happens, right?
We've heard stories of students who have attended a Narcan training and have then used that Narcan to save someone's life. So we know that these programs are having a positive impact on campus.
Even though many people believe that only drug users need to think about Narcan, that is simply not the case.
Would you use an EpiPen on somebody? It wouldn't be for yourself, but would you save somebody else? And that's really what it's about, is getting people to understand that it's not just about, hey, just saving yourself if you don't have a problem. It's about helping other people as well.
At the end of the event, students were able to take some Narcan home for free, an added bonus because the medication has only been available over the counter since last March and cost around $45. For UMTV, I'm Harvey Duplock.
Now, it's time for a short break, but coming up, we'll take you to 2 events here in Coral Gables selling some very special art. NewsVision will be right back.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. 2 milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable. The sad reality is, fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kitchen now.
This past weekend in Miami, the Coconut Grove Arts Festival celebrated its 60th anniversary. Artists from across the nation gathered to showcase their art to thousands of curious attendees. As one of the largest outdoor events in the country, the event takes an entire year to plan. But organizers say it's worth it.
It's an opportunity to showcase many artists that residents of South Florida would not be able to see. So it's actually a tremendous honor, and I live vicariously through the artists myself because I'm not one.
Every year, one artist is chosen to create the poster for the festival, and this year's winners were Sign and Jenna Grushevenko. The couple collaborated to create oil paintings based on vintage photos from the 60s and 70s that display carefree moments. Their retro theme captured the heart of Monty Traynor, who arrived in Coconut Grove in the 60s to build a coastal-themed restaurant and soon began supporting the art community. Traynor will be retiring as the festival's president after serving for 15 years.
February is a special month on campus for one building. The Lowell Art Museum celebrates 74 years since the building was inaugurated. Lead reporter Billy Brightman is live outside the building now. Billy, how is the university celebrating this occasion?
And a celebration it is, Gracie. The University Art Gallery was inaugurated on February 22nd, 1950. On February 4th, 1952, it was dedicated as the Low Art Museum we know it as today. This was actually the first ever art exhibit in Miami, and it prides itself on having a diverse collection of art all throughout the world and all throughout time. Tonight on its 74th anniversary, it's celebrating with its annual Evening of Art event. This is a fundraiser where artists and enthusiasts can gather to honor the art and history throughout the exhibits. Tonight, the Palette Project donated 55 works of art for bidding, and that bidding starts at $500 a piece. There's going to be food and drinks during that bidding, and tickets are $250, but all the proceeds go towards keeping the Low open for another 75 years. Celebrating outside the Low Art Museum, Billy Brightman, UMTV.
Thanks, Billy. Valentine's Day is the perfect time to tell the ones you love how much they mean to you. You could give them a note, buy them some chocolate, maybe even write them a card. Or you could sing them a song. It's a special and unique way to show your gratitude, and the Theater Action Group on campus set up the perfect opportunity to do it. Olivia Howell has the story.
Pollock is an architecture and theater arts double major at the University of Miami who wanted to do something a little different for Valentine's Day. So he came to the lakeside patio at the Coral Gables campus to hear the countless love songs performed at the Theater Action Group's second annual Love Out Loud event.
I really enjoyed it. I mean, I knew the event was going on. A lot of my friends were a part of it, so I was, really excited to it. Definitely something, how often on a Monday night can you really just be like, oh, I get to go sit in, the middle of campus and watch my friends perform.
With almost 50 attendees, the event showcased more than 10 different performances. And whether you spent the night with the one you love or flew the night solo, there was something for everyone.
Well, being able to sing with my girlfriend was amazing, and sing a love song, it was great. It's just great to be able to share some art we've created.
I definitely felt the love, even if it wasn't directed towards me, because Lord knows it wasn't. They were just, singing to the people they love.
Tonight, sharing joy and spreading love has been the top priority, and that's what each of the performers has done here tonight. It serves as a reminder of how healing a simple song can be and how much love lyrics can bring.
But the Theater Action Group's values don't stop at making everyone feel loved. It aims to make everyone feel accepted and included and pushes the boundaries of what theater means.
Theater can be so much more powerful than just being something that's entertaining. It can be something that really asks people to really challenge their ideas and to challenge social norms and to bring about positive change in the world.
The group's goals go far beyond center stage. They strive to make a difference, not just in the theater, but in the world as well.
It's fueled my soul, truly, getting to connect with other like-minded artists and to, get to know other people's gifts and create art and share our passion for theater and share our passion for social movements that we're all passionate about has just been incredibly fueling.
The group's goals go far beyond center stage. They strive to make a difference, not just in the theater, but in the world as well.
It really just is nice to have this great, event where I can come, watch my friends perform, cheer them on, and also, of course, it's all going to a good cause, so you can't really beat that.
For UMTV, I'm Olivia Howell.
You may have heard about Pancakes with Pat, but how about Pizza with Prado? Interim Provost Guillermo Prado recently hosted Pizza with the Provost on the Rasmus campus. The Provost hosts these events 3 times a semester across different campuses. He says he is on a mission to familiarize himself with students who may not know who he is and promote their success.
You know, oftentimes our job really sort of means that we're doing work behind the desk, but I think it's so important to be able to connect with our university community and certainly with our undergraduate and graduate student body.
If you want to get to know him, Provost Prado says his door is always open. The next Pizza with the Provost event is February 28th at UM's medical campus from noon to 1 p.m.
Nestled in a corner behind the physics building here on campus is where you'll find the Gifford Arboretum Sustainability Garden that was created in 2018. What started as a temporary dumping ground for tree trimmings and other miscellaneous items from around campus is now a flourishing garden. It provides a space for students, staff, and faculty to learn sustainable gardening practices and get hands-on experience.
Sometimes you don't need a lot to do great things. You know, that's the example. It's really reusing whatever you can. But you need
unfortunately,
someone
as the
to take
plants
care
grow,
of it,
the funding.
you know, the whole year long.
Unfortunately, as the plants grow, the funding is wilting. Letellier says he hopes for a donation to help fund the garden and to add a part-time scholarship position in the garden, which would allow for it to be consistently monitored.
I mean, you know, Ben, I don't have a green thumb, but I bet they're definitely hoping for some good weather.
I know, I hope they plant some good fruits and vegetables.
I agree, but now time to check on the weather forecast with Quinn Davidson.
Quinn, how's the weekend weather shaping up?
Ben, the weekend is looking absolutely fantastic. We do have a weak cold front that is going to come through overnight Saturday into Sunday, which is going to drop our temperatures into the low 50s. But hey, that is nothing we are not used to here in the winter of South Florida. Taking a look outside right now, we have 69 degrees here in Miami, 67 in Key West, and a little cooler on the west coast where they're in the mid to low 60s. Why is it so dry? We have a high pressure system that is situated over Florida right now that is going to move off the coast as a cold front is going to string and sneak down the peninsula into this weekend. That is what is going to drop our overnight lows into Sunday morning. We have a slight chance of showers around 20%, nothing too significant, not going to be a washout or anything like that, but definitely something on the radar for us here across South Florida. Winds, let's take a look at those. We have 22 miles per hour gusting. Friday afternoon is going to be a bit breezy as we head as that front moves down. The coast, as we're going to see higher wind gusts in central Florida and more north, but here in South Florida, still pretty breezy, 22 miles per hour. And moving into Saturday morning overnight, still quite breezy across conditions here in South Florida. We do have 100 days until hurricane season starting, so hey, not anything important. Let's just put it on our back burner. Here are our names for the 2024 season, and our sea surface temperatures are quite warm, so this is going to be something that is key and vital to understanding how our 2024 hurricane season is going to play out. Looking across the board, temperatures remaining picture perfect here in South Florida. Temperatures in the 70s, but just make sure to look at that overnight low, 53 on Saturday night.
Thanks, Quinn. One Miami native is making an impact on many people all over the country after his success on the hit competition show American Ninja Warrior. And as Angela Safone explains, it all started with a mask and a sport called ninja.
The man behind the mask, Flip Rodriguez, moving on to stage 2. Let's go!
To millions of people who watch the show called American Ninja Warrior, Flip Rodriguez is the real deal. Flip has been on 13 seasons of the show American Ninja Warrior. On the show, Flip wore a mask, but it wasn't just to be cool. It was also to shield him from his biggest personal obstacle.
It was something I agreed to myself when I was 18 years old that I would never speak about. It was going to go with me 6 feet deep.
But after 4 years on the show, the mask came off, and so did his secret. Flip revealed that from ages 9 to 15, he was sexually abused by his father.
It's not only changed my life, it's shaped me to be better. You'd be surprised at how many people have gone through sexual abuse that you know. And that has shaped my life to see life through a different lens that most people don't.
So, instead of hiding behind the mask, Flip decided to openly confront his demons and help others do the same. Flip has gone through many obstacles in life which led him to who he is today. Now he's changing kids' lives here at Jump Twist Ninja.
Respect each other. Got it?
Jump Twist Ninja was created in 2019 and located in Boca Raton, Florida. They offer classes for kids starting at 3 years old to adult open gym classes for anyone 16 or older. Flip is the lead coach for the elite team of 12 students ages 7 to 13. It is a travel competition team that competes all over the country. He says his favorite thing is watching the kids succeed and jump over hurdles, such as overcoming fears.
He's a great influence, he's a great leader, he's a great role model. He does very well with the kids. His temperament is beyond belief.
Being taught by Flip has been an amazing experience. I cannot describe to you the amount of things he has taught me. I don't even think I could pick a favorite.
Flip says he has helped over 100 students in his 10 years of coaching. He has given students the strength to compete and win competitions. His focus now is to continue influencing people in any way he can.
I want to keep impacting lives, flipping lives into positivity.
Go. 3, 2, 1. Be strong, be courageous, team, don't twist. Good job, guys.
From UMTV, I'm Angela Sapone.
Coming up next, Canes basketball suffered its 5th straight loss by the hands of Duke. I'll show you all of it after the break. Don't go away.
Start vaping. And I can't let this happen to my kid. Of course, it's awkward to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping. Hey, bestie, how sketch is vaping? It's hard to get their attention. Ready? Go. Yes, look at that. You didn't even turn yours over. So if you want to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping, you have to get it trending. Right, Backpack Kid?
Let's do it.
First, invite your kid to do the vape talk. Let's try this. All right.
Why is he here?
Yeah, I gotta get it trending, honey.
Come on.
Let's go.
Oh, honey, can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
I see a lot of your friends vaping.
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.
Welcome to sports. I'm Zach Macer. Canes basketball highlighted some new jerseys yesterday in their match against number 8 Duke, but their performance was not highlight worthy. Let me show you what went down at the Watsco Center yesterday. Duke looking to make it a 5th straight win against Miami, and Jared McCain gets it started off pretty well. Huge three from there, from the logo for the freshman, and then Wooka Poplar steps into a three-pointer from the logo as well. Canes within one later on in the first. Kyle Filipowski, the 7-footer, slams it home on the reverse. Take another look at that, just the amazing footwork from him. He might go into the NBA draft soon. Second half, Keyshawn George to Michael Nwoko with the alley-oop, freshman connection. And then it's Mark Mitchell, steals it, cookies into the cookie jar with that one. He had 15 on the night, and then as time winded down, Duke started to pull away, and it's Tyrese Proctor, the Australian, hit that from down under, and the Canes would lose by 29 points in Coral Gables. Let's go from the hardwood to the diamond now. Miami baseball season is underway, and they've started out with a strong 3-1 record. But I was curious to know, how much do students know about Canes baseball? How many national championships do Canes baseball have?
I'm gonna say 5.
I don't know, maybe like 12?
3.
4.
4.
What is the most popular food item at Mark Light Field?
Oh, the milkshake, bro.
Like a glizzy?
Peanuts.
Good guess, not quite though.
The shake.
Do you have a favorite?
I'm lactose intolerant, so I've never had it.
Can you name any players on the team?
No.
Maybe this guy named Jason and Logan.
Sear, Gonzalez,
No.
I don't even go here.
I'm blanking completely on current roster, which is bad.
Name the newest head coach of Canes baseball.
That would be JD Ortega.
Oh my god, this is really bad, guys. Do people get these right?
the GOAT, JD Artiega.
I can't. George Springer.
Can you name the mascot specific for Canes baseball?
Is it like Manic Panic or something like that?
It's not the Ibis?
There's a I didn't even know there was a different one.
I want to say, is it Wally?
Craig the Duck. Isn't it the Maniac?
What's the name of the stadium they play at?
I should know that. I drive past it every single day.
The field over there, it's in the corner.
It is over there, but what is its name?
Oh my goodness.
Is it like Topher Stadium?
I'm on campus, so I don't drive past it. It's on campus. It's on campus.
To head over to Mark Light Field, have a Mark Light milkshake, and see those Canes baseball players hit absolute dingers against LIU this coming weekend. That's all the time I have for sports.
Thanks, Zach. Still ahead, we'll show you some unusual pests out and about here in South Florida. More when we return.
It's important to get a flu shot each and every year because flu viruses are constantly changing and immunity from the vaccine decreases over time. Flu vaccines are updated annually to work against that year's viruses. The best time to get your shot is in the fall, but getting it later can still help. Getting a flu shot lowers your risk of getting sick, and if you do happen to get flu, it's likely to be less severe.
Invasive species are taking over South Florida, impacting the environment. That's because of one major reason that might surprise you. Charlotte Snoonian explains.
South Florida is home to a wide variety of wildlife, but not all of them belong. In fact, there are over 500 invasive species here, which are plants or animals that are not native to the region they are occupying.
If a species is able to get somewhere of its own accord, then it is considered native. But if it only gets there through the aid of humans, then we count it as being non-native.
Most invasive animals get here through the pet trade, and Miami is the import hub for non-native animals.
So while they're here waiting to be shipped, they escape. And then given that we have a very tropical climate, and most of these species are coming from tropical areas, if they do escape, they can then be successful.
And these facilities are not the only problem. Owners of reptiles and amphibians often don't do their research before getting their pet, and they become unable to care for it when it grows too big or lives longer than owners expected. So some people release their non-native pets into the wild.
It's not good for the environment because these are non-native species that shouldn't be here, and usually it's not good for the animal either because it's not going to receive proper care.
Green iguanas and spiny-tailed iguanas are some of the most common invasive species in South Florida, and both were imported from Central America and South America. I took a walk through the trails at Billback State Park on the very end of Key Biscayne, and I was shocked by how many iguanas there actually are. They were laying in the sun, running across the paths, and climbing up the trees, and they were definitely the most common animal I saw on my walk. Iguanas burrow underground, which can be dangerous to the structure of buildings, homes, and other infrastructure. The South Florida Water Management District has tried to remove the iguanas from certain areas, but had no luck.
If you're only removing them from a very specific area, then you're going to have the problem that other ones will just come in to immediately replace the ones you removed.
Miami-Dade County hopes to set up traps in certain areas to remove iguanas in a humane way. For UMTV, I'm Charlotte Snoonian.
And now from invasive animals to saving wanted animals. A young baby seal has been rescued in New Jersey after it was found with plastic wrapped around its neck. The seal is now safe and sound in a marine facility. Seals make the trek to the New Jersey area every year from their birth sites in New England and Canadian waters, a distance of about 300 miles. But as pollution gets worse, their pilgrimage gets harder as more seals end up caught in or swallowing plastic and trash. I mean, that is just so sad, and they are so cute.
I know, it's crazy that those babies travel for so long. I can barely get up for my 9 a.m.
Tell me, I know about it. But that's all we have for today's program. Thank you so much for joining us.
We'll be back next Thursday at 7. Have a great night, Hurricanes.